Today we're here in the Maluti Mountains, which is basically the Eastern Free State on the border of Lesotho. In fact, that hill over there, literally a few hundred meters away, is in fact Lesotho. And I'm here at a place called Old Mill Drift, which is a working stud farm high up in the Maluti Mountains. We're about 2,000 meters above sea level, so quite a high altitude. And I'm doing a little bit of wild camping. They offer wild camping here on the farm, so you can basically just come and find a spot and then set up a camp. So that's what I've done. I've got a lovely spot here by the river underneath a few trees, and yeah, we're going to spend 2 days doing a little bit of 4x4ing, a little bit of fly fishing in the Caledon River here, and just exploring the lovely old valley. So it's about 4 o'clock now. Once the sun goes behind the mountains, it's going to get pretty cold. So I'm just going to set up my campsite quickly. Because I'm only here for a few days and it's just myself, I didn't bring the trailer with. I don't have a rooftop tent on my car, so I went to Front Runner and I've picked up one of these little flip pop tents, which is one of these new pop out quick and easy tents. It's not expensive, it was about 1,200 bucks. And then I've just got a mattress and a sleeping bag, so a really simple sleeping setup for the next few days. But for me the important part is it's really easy to put up and take down. Well, we'll see how easy it is to take down, because I heard that sometimes these can be a bit complicated, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. So yeah, let's see how long this takes. So disclaimer, I haven't even opened it yet, and see, it does come with pegs. Oh, it's open itself. Right. Well, it doesn't get much easier than that. Cool, that looks pretty tidy. It's not massive inside, but it's going to do. I also forgot to bring a mallet, but fortunately the soil is quite soft. So it does tend to get a bit windy here, so I'm going to put a guy rope out just to make sure the tent doesn't crumple or collapse in the wind. But on first appearances it seems like it's pretty decent. Nice build quality, quite firm, decent quality nylon. So yeah, I think it's 1,200 bucks pretty well spent. This is for a mattress. I just got one of these Campmaster. It's like an inch thick. It's not the most comfortable mattress around, but honestly it's really affordable, and for a few days out here sleeping on the grass, I mean it's ample. And then yeah, I don't know how cold it's going to get tonight, so I bought my Coleman down sleeping bag. If it does get down to below freezing, I should be okay. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's a pretty easy campsite to set up. Now I just need to put a chair out and crack a beer. That's it. This is what someone's called a quick bra. It's basically like a collapsible bra of questionable quality. I actually never bought this, it was given to me, and I've yet to use it, so this is the first time. But yeah, it's just not made very well. I don't think this is the South African product, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I've short off to suit its purpose. Not a bad way to spend a Tuesday. So for dinner I'm just doing a nice easy cowboy chow. I've got some mince, tomato and onion, a little bit of garlic, and then I'm going to fry that up with some mixed beans. And then my wife got me these tiny rolls, bless her. I think if I cut them in half I can do some cool jaffles. So that's my plan. I'm going to do cowboy chow and jaffles in the fire. So I just add a little bit of oil. Put my mince in. I actually forgot to take it out of the freezer on the way here, so it's still frozen just now. So I put it in the engine compartment on the cover of the motor, and it's defrosted nice and quickly. Sorry, my battery died on me there. Anyway, so I've added a beef stock cube and a little bit of salt, and now I'm going to add the tomato and onion mix, and then I'll let it simmer for about probably about 20 minutes or so, and add some more salt to that just to taste at the end. Be nice to chuck a little bit of chili in, but I honestly didn't remember to bring any. So anyway, right, let's pull that off to the side and now let it simmer a bit slowly. So I'm going to take my tiny rolls and then open them up and make like a circular pattern so that it fits the shape of the jaffle, and then I'm going to throw them on. So I've got 4 rolls, 2 jaffles. There we go. And then you just lid on, throw it in the fire. I think that came out okay. Give a little salt and my favourite Prego sauce. Yep, that's going to be good. So a heartfelt thunderstorm has just rolled in. Quite late in the season for them, but as you can hear it pouring, and that was a thunder strike or a lightning strike. Yeah, it's still like a K away. Yeah, it's pouring, but good news is that the tent is fine, no issues at all. It's holding out nicely. So yeah, good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao. Look at that. Hot cross buns, coffee in the mountains. Can't go wrong. So it rained from about 11 o'clock last night. For for about 2 hours, non-stop, pretty hard rain. I had visions of having to go sleep in the truck, but the tent held out just fine, there was no issues. But the rain didn't do me any favors because the rock here is like almost like clay and shale, so I imagine it's going to be quite slippery on the trails. Could be fun, but I am by myself, so I don't want to take any stupid risks. But we'll see how far we can get up the valley. There are a few trails. I'd like to get a little bit higher and put the drone up and get some good footage of the whole valley. And yeah, I'm keen just to explore the river a little bit. They've got some rainbow trout and yellowfish in the Caledon, some nice pools and eddies, so I'm keen to throw a line in there and just chill out for the day. Hoping the weather holds up. I have no idea what it's going to do because there's no cell phone signal here, so I can't check the weather, but it looks like it may, there's a few clouds in the sky. I have a feeling it may cloud over and get a bit colder as the day goes on, but we'll see how it goes. Now I have my own Scout. I think he doesn't believe I can get through this spot. Anyway. Gave him some hot cross buns for breakfast. He hasn't quite mastered English too much. He knows how to say yes.
You run the curb. Run the curb.
Yeah.
Yeah. You spawning.
No.
What is that spawning?
Yeah.
Money.
No, I'm giving you money.
Say.
That's all my money.
Give me. Alright, say.
See, there's us.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Wave. You'll be on the movie.
Okay, it's all.
차가 한번 화발이야. Sabi, udah saya.
Say cheese.
Yes.
Cheese. No sweeties.
Money.
I don't have any.
Please.
No left. So I'm starting to get a bit hounded by these kids, and it's actually, I can't tell them to stay away from the vehicle, and it's not really safe with this. It is very slippery. Yeah, but I've now got 5. Anyway, I gave them food and 20 bucks each, and it seems like maybe that wasn't the right thing to do because they seem to be increasing in number. So I'm on my way back now. Couple of grumbles in the distance, so I think we're probably going to get more rain tonight. Yay! Anyway, so I didn't get too far, probably got about 5 k's up the road, and got an entourage of 5 young boys who were excitedly running along next to my car. Just in places it was quite muddy and it's very slippery, like clay mud, and this car's got a fat ass, big fat heavy ass, and it was like dragging all over the place, and I was just worried about the kids running next to the truck, and I couldn't communicate to them because the English is non-existent. I couldn't say stand away from the truck, and it's got a little bit hairy. I was worried that I was going to crush a foot, or even worse, crush a kid, so I decided to turn around. But anyway, I found this beautiful little section of the river here underneath some willow trees. There's a couple of pools, and I'm going to see if I can tempt some fish out the water. Probably be unsuccessful. The nice thing about fly fishing is it's not really about catching the fish, it's about the whole experience. So. I think it's fairly obvious what's happening here. I'm an incredibly skilled fly fisherman. That's fairly common knowledge how good I am. And clearly this river hasn't got a single fish in it. Pretty late in the afternoon, surprisingly enough. I mean, I'm a bit staggered that I haven't caught anything, but yeah, I'm a bit hungry and there's a bit of a storm coming in, so I'm going to head back to camp and start supper. Right, so I think it's about like 4:30 now. Sun's gonna go down behind the mountains soon, and yeah, probably temperature will drop again like it did last night. I'm hoping that we won't get rained out. There is a storm in the valley here, but if it does come, rather it comes now, and then I can have an open evening. So a little bit about Old Mill Drift. It is basically in the valley that lies behind Clarence. In fact, there's that road that I was driving on today goes all the way to Clarence. It used to be the old pass to the town, and up until the 70s you could only access this valley via Lesotho until they South African government put in a road to the waterworks, because there's the Maluti water pump station up there. I'm not really too sure how it falls into the whole water scheme thing, but anyway, so up until the 70s you couldn't get here from South Africa, you had to come via Lesotho. And on the farm here, which the farm dates back, I think it's 120 years, there's many old sandstone buildings, and there used to be a trading post here, and a mill. That's why it's called the Old Mill Drift. And I think the mill is still there, and the mill they used to crush their maize to make flour and stuff. And apparently there was like a co-op thing between the Moutains and South Africans grinding or milling the maize here. So there's a lot of history here. It's very cool. It sits on the Caledon River between the borders, and the Moutains basically walk up and down. They graze all their cattle on this side of the river. Very friendly, very simple life type of people, down to earth people, and it's a very cool spot. This place here, you can either stay in self-catering chalets, which we did last time we were here, or you could camp. They've got a campsite with electricity if you prefer that. That is 150 Rand a person a night, which is like $10, and wild camping here is only $100, so this is 2 nights is only $200, and there is no cell phone signal, but they do have Wi-Fi at the reception, which is an additional 50 Rand. So it's nice just to be able to go check in and let everyone know that I'm okay when necessary. But yeah, I definitely recommend this spot. It's got a little bit of something for the outdoor enthusiast. You can do mountain biking here, you can do hiking, obviously 4x4ing, fly fishing, although there are no fish in this river. There's not a single fish in this river. But yeah, now I'm just going to put a fire on. Tonight for supper I'm doing some steak, and I think I may do a bread. I'll see how I feel, and also depends on if it rains, then I'm not going to get too involved cooking. But yeah, nice relaxing day. Good evening. So for the bread, I've just mixed flour and yeast and a little bit of salt together with water, and it's a bit cold. It's like only like about 18 or 19 degrees. So I just put it in here to prove, because it's nice and warm from the engine compartment. So probably give it about an hour, then it should rise quite nicely. Yeah, as long as I keep all the mud out, should be alright. What I've found works best for me is I put the cast iron pot in the fire first, so it gets really hot. Put some coals underneath, and because it's really hot, the dough doesn't stick to it, so that's risen quite nicely. So I'll just pop that in there. You can hear it simmering, which is a good sign. Put the lid on, and then I'm just going to throw some coals on the top of that. I'll give it about like 35-40 minutes normally. But I got this nice rump. I'm going to do the rump. I've got a can of curried vegetables. Going to throw that in, and then with my little bread, which should be done in about 5 minutes or so. Going to give the steak about 10 minutes. Let's check on this bread. Oh, that's done. Perfect. Bit hot. There we go. Nice rump steak, some homemade bread. Well, it has to be homemade, I'm out in the bush. Curried vegetables and some peri-naise, just peri sauce and mayonnaise. Looks good. Okay, so it's late morning. I've now packed up here at Old Mill Drift. I'm going to close off this episode here. I'm now heading off to far eastern Free State, Sterkfontein Dam, basically the far eastern Maluti Mountains, and I'm going to meet a few mates there, and we're going to spend a few nights out there too. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please remember to subscribe and hit the like button, and I'll see you guys next time on Black Overland. Ciao.